It was once called the eighth wonder of the world, a colossal dome unlike anything anyone had ever seen. The Houston Astrodome wasn't just a sports arena. It was the first fully enclosed stadium in history, the largest indoor space ever built at the time, and a shining symbol of American ambition. Here, baseball was reinvented. Football went indoors for the first time. Icons like Elvis Presley and Muhammad Ali performed beneath its massive roof. But today, this marvel sits silent and decaying. Closed for more than 15 years, its once glimmering roof now rusts in the Texas sun. And now, with a bold billion-dollar plan on the table, Houston faces a pivotal question. Can this icon rise again? Or is it time to say goodbye to the eighth wonder of the world? To understand how the Astrodome came to be, we need to go back to Houston in the early 1960s, a city on the verge of transformation. NASA had just selected Houston as the home of mission control for the Apollo program, making it the nerve center of America's race to the moon. Meanwhile, an oil boom was fueling explosive economic growth, turning Houston into one of the fastest-growing cities in the United States. But for all its progress, Houston lacked something big: a Major League Baseball team and a stadium worthy of the city's new status. That challenge fell to Roy Hofheinz, a former judge and mayor with an unshakable vision. Hofheinz didn't just want to build a ballpark. Houston's summers were brutally hot, with humidity so thick it felt like you were breathing through a wet towel. Thunderstorms routinely washed out games. He wanted to build an indoor air-conditioned arena where fans and players could escape the Texas heat, a stadium unlike anything on Earth. Inspired by the futuristic geodesic domes of architect Buckminster Fuller, Hofheinz dreamed of creating a structure so bold it would put Houston on the global stage. Most experts said it couldn't be done. Hofheinz pressed ahead anyway. Construction began in 1962, and what rose from the flat Gulf Coast plain stunned the world. The Astrodome was unlike anything ever attempted. From a distance, it looked like a giant silver spaceship. Inside, it could hold more than 70,000 people and convert seamlessly between baseball, football, rodeos, and concerts. It was the first stadium in the world to be fully air-conditioned. Its roof was designed to withstand hurricane-force winds of up to 165 miles per hour. Most remarkable of all, it featured a clear-span design, no support columns blocking views, covering 9 acres of open space under a single roof. The dome itself was made of over 5,000 lucite skylight panels, carefully arranged to allow sunlight to reach the natural grass below. To make this possible, engineers dug deep. The playing surface sat 25 feet below ground, with 3 levels of the stadium hidden beneath the earth. Above, the roof stretched 9 stories high, supported by steel trusses so massive they pushed the limits of 1960s construction technology. When it opened in 1965, the Astrodome wasn't just a building. It was a statement, a symbol of what human ambition could achieve. But perfection didn't last long. During the first games, players complained of blinding glare from the lucite roof panels. The quick fix was to paint sections of the roof white. It worked, but without enough sunlight, the grass below began to die. Within weeks, the once green field had turned into a patchy brown mess. The solution was revolutionary, a completely synthetic playing surface. In 1966, the Astrodome became the first stadium in history to use artificial turf. It was so closely tied to the building that it became known worldwide as AstroTurf, a game-changing invention that spread to sports fields everywhere. The Astrodome quickly became more than just a sports venue. It became a symbol of Houston itself. Within a year, it was the 3rd most visited attraction in the country, behind only Disneyland and the Grand Canyon. Some of the most iconic events of the 20th century took place under its roof. Elvis Presley and the Rolling Stones played sold-out shows. Muhammad Ali fought in front of roaring crowds. In 1971, daredevil Evel Knievel performed one of his most famous stunts before 100,000 fans. And in 1973, more than 30,000 spectators gathered for the legendary Battle of the Sexes tennis match between Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs, a defining moment for women's sports watched by millions on live TV. For decades, the Astrodome wasn't just a building, it was the place where history happened. But no wonder lasts forever. By the late 1970s, newer stadiums were emerging with modern features and updated designs. The Astrodome, once cutting edge, began to feel outdated. Renovations in the 1980s tried to keep pace, but by the 1990s, Houston's professional teams were ready to move on. The Houston Oilers left in 1996 and became the Tennessee Titans. The Houston Astros followed, moving to a new downtown ballpark. Then, in 2002, a brand new state-of-the-art stadium opened next door, NRG Stadium, complete with a retractable roof. Overnight, the Astrodome went from revolutionary to obsolete. The final blow came in 2008 when fire inspectors found major safety violations. The stadium was declared unsafe and shut down entirely. For many Houstonians, it was a shocking fall from grace. The very building that once represented progress and possibility was now locked up and left to decay. Its one moment of redemption came during Hurricane Katrina in 2005, when it briefly reopened as an emergency shelter for thousands of evacuees. But that moment passed, and the dome returned to silence, a relic of a bygone era. As the years dragged on, the debate grew louder. Some argued the Astrodome should be demolished, pointing to mounting maintenance costs and the millions needed to bring it up to modern code. But preservationists fought back. They saw the dome as more than steel and concrete. It was a vital piece of American history. In 2014, the National Trust for Historic Preservation named it a national treasure. Soon after, it was listed on both state and federal historic registers, protecting it from demolition. The eighth wonder of the world would stand, but its future remained uncertain. Now, a bold new plan could finally give the Astrodome a second life. In 2024, design firm Gensler and the Astrodome Conservancy unveiled a $1 billion proposal to transform the stadium into a vibrant mixed-use destination. The concept would turn the central space into a flexible arena surrounded by restaurants, shops, offices, and attractions. It would feature a NASA visitor center, a rodeo experience, and a sweeping pedestrian promenade inspired by New York City's High Line. The goal is simple: make the Astrodome self-sustaining and relevant for the next century. Funding would come from a mix of public and private investment, but major hurdles remain. Key stakeholders are divided, and officials are wary of the long-term costs. If successful, the project could breathe new life into the stadium and turn it into a global destination. If it fails, the Astrodome's future may finally run out of time. The Astrodome's story reflects a larger American struggle: what to do with the bold infrastructure of the past. Do we preserve these icons as reminders of our ambition, or tear them down to make way for what's next? Leaving the Astrodome to rot isn't an option, but demolishing it would erase a chapter of history that inspired generations. As Houston weighs this billion-dollar gamble, the world will be watching. What do you think? Should Houston save the Astrodome, or finally let it go? Because icons like this don't come along often, and when they do, they deserve a future as bold as their past. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to USA Mega Projects and hit the bell for more stories on America's biggest builds.